guys, so today I have a very exciting video to share with you. Sorry about the sounds and the lighting, it is raining, but as I mentioned earlier in the month, I was going to go to the book outlet store located in St. Catharines, Ontario, and I did. So I bought about 13 books for less than $100, so I'm so excited to share them with you. If you didn't know, Book Outlet is an online retailer that sells bargain books, and they're just so cheap. They are good condition, or you can also get scratch and dent ones, but they come at an additional discounted price, and they've just offered flat rate shipping or free shipping when you spend, I think, over $45 Canadian. I have purchased online from them in the past, and this was my third time going to the store. But if you live in the St. Catharines, Niagara, GTA area, it's only about an hour or so away from my house. It's so worth the drive. It's just this giant warehouse of cheap books. It's amazing. I spent like 2 hours there just book shopping. They have carts, so you can literally fill your cart with books, and it's just an amazing experience. Today I want to share with you all of the books that I purchased in the store. I see so many book outlet hauls, but most of them are online, so I love going and physically picking up books, so I'm very excited to share this with you. I think I've talked enough. Let's just get right into it. So the first 5 books that I want to share with you are classics. They are all classics that I've read and I just bought in various editions because I either didn't own a copy or I wanted a new one. So the first one that I got is Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. I first read this book when I was in 8th grade, so in like 2008, 2009, and I remember really enjoying it. I remember being very dense for my young brain, but I haven't reread it since, so when I saw this cute, pretty edition, I had to pick it up. It's nice and floppy, so it's going to be totally easy to reread, and then when I do, I'm probably just going to buy one of the nice hardcover ones. Then I got 2 of the Puff and Chalk editions. They are about half the price as I would find on Amazon Canada, so I had to pick them up. I got The Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum, as well as Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. As you'll see, I left all of the price stickers on it so you guys could see how much they cost and what a bargain deal they were. So I have the Peter Pan edition of this one. I think I just need the Pippi Longstocking one, but they were sold out at the store. So I got these 2 to add to my collection. I picked up Much Ado About Nothing by William Shakespeare. This is the Folker Shakespeare Library edition. I have a couple others in this format, and I wanted to buy all of them that they had there. I think they had every William Shakespeare play, but I did decide that I would just purchase them as I've read them. So I did read this play for university 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, and I loved it. I love the film adaptations of it. I think it's so funny. So it is a comedy play. If you are new to Shakespeare or if you are a fan, I would definitely recommend starting with this one or giving it a read because it is light and easy to understand and adapt to the language, and it's just really funny. And then the last classic that I picked up was The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. I was so excited to find this edition. It is the 40th anniversary edition, and it's in hardcover and so pretty. It was $8, which isn't cheap, but on Amazon I was going to buy the paperback for $8. So I wanted to own a copy of this book. I haven't read it for years, so I wanted to buy a copy and read it. So when I saw this one sitting on the shelf all by its lonesome, I couldn't resist. Then the only novel of these that I've actually read is Warm Bodies by Isaac Marion. Again, I read it, I loved it, I wanted to own a copy of it. I think at one point I did, and it might have been from Book Outlet as well, and for some reason I unhauled it, but I did read it earlier this year, and I'm continuing my way through the series, so I wanted to have a copy. So as I mentioned, online they do have damaged books, but they do sell them at a discounted price, which is scratch and dent, and in the store they also do have a section as well. So scratch and dent could be anything from there's a rip in the cover, the page is bent, there's water damage, the dust jacket is missing, anything that doesn't sell it is perfect condition. So I'd already filled up my cart at this point, but I was just wandering through and I found 2 books that I had to get. So the first one was Afterworlds by Scott Westerfeld. I'd picked up the hardcover to purchase, but it was $6, so I got this one for $2. And the only damage that I could see is this little rip on the back cover. So I'm usually pretty OCD about my books, but you can't see it from the spine, you can't see it from the front, and it isn't anything significant. So I thought, okay, I'll take this because it's nice and light, and the hardcover is really heavy. So I'll read this. If I like it, I'll buy myself the hardcover copy. And then this is a book that I already own, but I picked up Trouble by Non Pratt in paperback for $2. And I picked this up because I couldn't find anything noticeably wrong with it. It feels fine, the spine isn't broken, it's perfect in my view. So I'll probably take this on vacation with me because it's a paperback, and then I can donate this one or give it to a friend. So for $2, I thought, why not have a second copy, because that's why I'm a book hoarder. I picked up Deadly Little Sins by Kara Taylor. This is the third book and I believe the last book in the Prep School Confidential series. I do own the first two as well, got them from Book Outlet. So I saw this one there. I do plan to read the series. I keep looking at it and wanting to pick it up. My friend Geraldine has said really good things about the first book. So she says that the story is better than the covers. So hopefully, because the covers are very cheesy, but I do want to read this, and the spines are all kind of this plaid, so they look really good together. And then the last four books are the ones that I'm most excited about, and the first one is Smoke by Ellen Hopkins. I haven't read this one, but it is the sequel to Burned, and I think it's actually a sequel and not just a companion. So where Burned left off was such a cliffhanger. So when I saw this in hardcover, I knew they had it, so it was my mission for this to be the first book I picked up. So yeah, nothing wrong with it, but $9. Had to get it. For hardcover, you gotta do it. This one has been on my wish list for a while, so I got Complicit by Stephanie Coohan. I tried to read Charm and Strange by this author, didn't like it, DNF'd it about 70 pages in. But this one I believe is another psychological thriller mental illness novel. So it's realistic fiction, and I think it's about a guy whose older sister gets sentenced to juvenile detention after starting a fire or something. So I think it's gonna be good, and if not, it was cheap, but it's been on my wish list, so instead of paying full price for it, I got it for cheap. And then the last two, the best for last. I got The Rose Society by Marie Lu, a signed copy. I read the Legend trilogy, I loved it. I haven't started The Young Elites yet, which is the first book to this series, but I keep meaning to. I've heard really good things, so when I saw the sequel, I had to pick it up. So yes, I'm very excited to have this. I loved her writing style and her not so generic and typical way of writing a dystopian. So very excited, but most excited for the last book, which I saw, kind of squealed, but I walked away, and then I came back and I decided I had to get it. And that is the illustrated edition of Angels and Demons by Dan Brown. So I read the Da Vinci Code in this format because a coworker of mine lent it to me. I loved it. I loved the reading experience of it. It made it so easy to read, and it was so fun to read along to. So this is the first book in that series, but I struggled because it is $20, but it's on my Amazon wishlist to buy, and the last time I checked in Canada it was like $45. So when I saw this, I was like, I have to do it, but it was still $20, but really it's still half price, so it's perfect and pretty and very heavy. But yes, so it just has different artworks and pictures in it, and like I said, I read the version of the Da Vinci Code and I loved it. So I know if I read the original one, I would have rated it lower. So very excited to read this one and continue on with the series, which is just like an adult mystery. So yeah, I ran out of words. I'm so excited about all of these books. I'm so excited about Book Outlet. So yeah, if you've read any of the books that I hauled, make sure you let me know what you thought of them. And if you've been to the Book Outlet store, make sure you let me know what you thought of it. I want to go back very soon, but probably at the end of the summer to stock up on reads for the Christmas time. So very excited, and yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.